Hey, let's talk about 9/11s. Not the familiar story you've heard 1,000 times, but the deeper, messier, less comfortable side. The kind that still keeps researchers, whistleblowers, and critical thinkers up at night. September 11th, 2001. 19 hijackers, 4 planes, and a world changed forever. But what if the story's a lot bigger? I'm not here for wild theories or easy outrage, just facts, evidence, and a few questions that deserve real answers. Start with the towers. WTC 1 and 2 fell in about 10 seconds each, that's near freefall speed. WTC 7 collapsed symmetrically even though no plane hit it. Never before, or since, has a steel-framed skyscraper just crumbled from fire. Jet fuel burns hot, but not hot enough to melt steel. Investigators found iron microspheres in the dust, and even weeks later, firefighters saw molten steel in the wreckage. A peer-reviewed study from the University of Alaska Fairbanks. It says fire alone couldn't have brought down WTC 7. Think about that. Now let's talk about the Mossad connection. On 9/11s, 5 Israeli men were arrested in New Jersey after being seen filming and celebrating the collapse. They spent 71 days in custody before being deported. One later admitted, "Our purpose was to document the event." That's not all. Over 120 Israeli nationals, many with ties to intelligence, were detained in the US in a so-called art student spy ring. They were reportedly tracking Arab terror suspects, maybe even some of the hijackers. The case? Quietly closed. The files? Still redacted. And Israel did warn the US in advance, but the tips lacked details. Did Mossad have foreknowledge? Some experts say it's possible, maybe even likely. Alright, here's the kicker. The missing trillions. On September 10th, 2001, literally the day before the attacks, Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld announced the Pentagon couldn't account for $2.3 trillion in spending. Next day, a plane hits the Pentagon, right where the financial auditing offices were. Records destroyed, budget analysts gone, no major investigation followed, the story vanished. Was it a coincidence or something much darker? And through all this, the media stuck to a simple script. 19 hijackers, Osama bin Laden, nothing more to see. Evidence of controlled demolition, Israeli intelligence activities, missing Pentagon funds, barely a whisper. Meanwhile, the official narrative justified trillions spent on wars, surveillance, and global shifts we're still living with. So, here's the uncomfortable, logical possibility. Could Mossad or actors with inside access have played a role in a false flag that covered up financial fraud, justified endless wars, and shifted the global balance? I don't have a smoking gun, but the questions are too big to ignore. If you don't ask who benefited, who had access, and who had the means, you're not investigating, you're complying. 9/11s changed the course of history. The real story? I think it's still waiting to be told. Stay curious, stay critical,